All right, what up, y'all? Welcome to the first official post-game reaction. This is my first video on this channel. If you've seen this channel before, I've a couple subscribers on here, just started it not too long ago. I have a couple shorts out there. I'm a huge Knicks fan. My name is Darnell. I'm not introducing myself correctly, like I've never done this before. My name's Darnell. I'm a huge Knicks fan. I've been a Knicks fan for my entire life, and I have another podcast called I Got Next. You can find that also on YouTube. And I decided to go ahead and start a separate channel for I Got Knicks because of just all the takes I got to get off, and I just don't want to do it all on one other podcast where I'm trying to talk about all things NBA and trying to be fair to everybody there. But I had to start this channel just so I can get off my reactions to games, to trades, to rumors, to all things NBA basketball when it comes to the New York Knicks. And I'm starting today in game 37, midway through the season in January, talking about a Knicks win over the Los Angeles Clippers. So again, Knicks win 123-111, beating the Clippers, breaking the 4-game losing streak. Thank God, because this was a game that, even though for whatever reason, atmosphere-wise, never felt like a big game. Like I didn't feel like the crowd was really like super into the game, but this was a huge game for the Knicks to win. I mean, all the stuff going on, Knicks Twitter blowing up because of a horrible 4-game losing streak that I felt like this was the moment. This was the game. Like, can you get this one before you go on the West Coast trip? Now, first things first, in that first quarter, Mike Brown had to call an early timeout. Knicks down 14-5 to start. Still kind of came out a little bit flat. Not as bad as the last 4 games, but I still felt there was a little lack of energy, a little lack of urgency as the game started. Clippers were able to get inside really easily. Zubac getting offensive rebounds, all the things. Kawhi Leonard was already starting up his antics. He's coming off a really good hot streak right now. But after that timeout, the Knicks came out with some more energy. And now this is the thing: the offense has looked bad over the last 4 games. Just cannot hide that at all. But if you go back and watch that first quarter, I actually liked their offense, even though they weren't shooting the ball great, even though a lot of shots weren't going in, especially from three. The way they were able to get themselves into the paint, spray it out to threes, they just weren't hitting, which is okay. That's fine. This is one of the early things that was happening early in the season when the Knicks had lost 3 straight around Halloween when they lost to the Bulls. I always felt like the offense, there was something there. This was when we were first getting introduced to the Mike Brown system, and it just felt like there was something there. Guys were getting into the paint, and they were spraying out for 3-point shooters, and they just kept missing shots. That stuff just happens, and that's what it kind of felt like in the first quarter. You were kind of hoping that they would, again, come out with some more energy, but it just didn't start that way. But I thought after that timeout, I don't know what Mike Brown said, but it got into the guys, and they were able to finish off that first quarter a little bit better than better than what it was looking like to start. Shout out to Deuce McBride. Finally, Mike Brown goes back to Deuce after his injury. He's finally back and still shooting the ball great. Prior to his injury, he was still shooting the ball fantastic. Don't know why when he came back, it just reverted right back to what it was with Josh Hart, and obviously Josh is still out. But Deuce seems like he was the most logical person to step into the starting lineup, not necessarily Mitchell Robinson, especially over the last few games. And Deuce kind of held it together in that first quarter. Like nobody else really had it going on. And Deuce came out still aggressive, knocking down his shots, getting some mid-range jumpers. And I just felt like his energy level was there to keep the Knicks afloat before that game got away from them in the first quarter. And I think he did a really good job. Um, excuse me, second quarter is what I was meant to say. Second quarter, Deuce McBride had 11 points, an assist, the block. He was a +2, 4 of 6 from the field, 3 of 4 from three. I mean, he was just fantastic in that second quarter, just kind of taking over. And again, just keeping the Knicks afloat as they got it together and started knocking down shots later in the game. And the number one person who needed to have a good game today, despite no matter who it was, if we could have won by a million, if this guy didn't have a good game, we were going to kill him. It's Karl Anthony Towns. After a 6.1 rebound game, he finally bounced back. Now, did I love Cat's game today? Not necessarily from a standpoint of, I mean, 6 of 18 to finish the game. He had 20 points, but I love his aggressiveness going downhill, attacking Zubac off the dribble, just trying to take advantage of his matchup. And if I don't recall, I don't think he got an offensive foul today. He almost got away with another hook on a drive, which I feel like you just want to kind of cut off his left arm at this point when he does that. But I feel like he was very aggressive, again, going downhill, trying to get fouls, trying to get contact. Um, Cat still has probably one of the worst whistles I've ever seen in my entire life, but I really did feel like he was still attacking, taking some good shots. There was some threes in there that were a little questionable, but I still felt overall his effort level in this game, just from an aggressive standpoint, was much better. Obviously, way better than what you could have gave us against Philadelphia. It was just night and day compared to. But I'm beating around the bush. The best player, my star of the game in this game was Tyler Kolek. Tyler Kolek, I'm gonna read off his stats right now. They don't sound impressive, but it was super impressive. I thought in 14 minutes he had 2 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, but he was a plus 18 on the floor, and that really to me was more about his defense. His defense was so aggressive. The second that Jalen Brunson went out and went to the bench in the second quarter, Tyler Kolek started turning up in just those 5 minutes in the second quarter, you could feel the difference between him and Jalen on the court. Listen, Cap is Cap. Cap is going to score. Cap did his thing today. You know, he was a -6, but that neither here nor there. He was super efficient and had a great game. It was probably a very quiet, great game by Jalen Brunson. But Tyler Kolek, you just feel the difference. When he was out there was just a little bit more physicality. There was just more aggressiveness on the defensive end and a little bit more attention to detail when it came to Tyler Kolek in that second unit and coming out for Jalen Brunson. But of course, in the fourth quarter is when he really starts to put his imprint on the game. The breakaway pass, getting into the lane, getting that layup for the great assist, passing the ball and everything like that. But again, the aggressiveness, just the difference when he's on the court. Him and Deuce were just attacking anybody that was getting the bringing the ball up. James Harden, anybody like that. So that to me was more of the change of the game. Again, we're gonna look at Jalen's stats, and he was fantastic in this game. But Tyler Kolek to me has to be the star of the game because without him, I don't know what they get from the bench and if they're able to overcome what the Clippers were already doing, knocking down threes left and right. Just a couple other notes before I finish up. This is going to be a very quick video just because it's the first one, and I just wanted to get this out. Obviously, you see, I'm no setup, no nothing, no fancy stuff going on back here. But shout out to Jordan Clarkson. Jordan Clarkson feels like JC sounds for just chill because every time he's dribbling the ball crazy going into the paint, I'm just like, Joe, just calm down, just relax, bro. But he was able to knock down the shots in the paint, get some tough buckets. That's what he goes out there to do. Shout out to Yabusele. Yabusele had a couple of nice minutes out there. You know, get a little showcase going. We saw Trey Young was traded during the game. Hopefully Yabusele is packing up, getting his stuff ready to ship out in a couple weeks as well. But I thought it was a solid showing for Yabusele. I really wish he had got that dunk that he tried to put on, I believe it was Brooke Lopez or John Collins, one of the two. Because that would have been his Nick highlight for his career. Like that's the only dunk that would have been his one highlight. But shout out to Yabu for that. Another solid OG Anunoby game. I'm still not really too sure what's going on with this shot. There were a lot of open shots that the Knicks were getting in this game that they just weren't knocking down. OG to be specific. I really want OG to stop passing the basketball. Honestly, like if somebody's not like directly in front of OG, I genuinely don't want him to throw the ball. Like no cross court passes. Just stop doing it because the ball handling is driving me absolutely insane. But overall, I thought he had a really good game defensively. Hopefully, we can start getting some shots knocked down, and that will hopefully propel the rest of this offense. But I think all in all, defensively, he was great. And again, Mitchell Robinson, another one, was also fantastic. But this was felt like a game that the Knicks had to get, and I'm glad they got it to go on this West Coast trip before we all started to panic. Now, at this point, I'm just doing a bunch of yapping, but I really just wanted to get this post game reaction video out. I really do I've loved the Knicks since early 90s, 93, 94, whatever. And this is a passion of mine, and I hope that you enjoy this video. I hope you like and share this video. I know there are so many other way better Nick content creators out there. I'm just hoping to be just a speck next to them. But, you know, I would love to continue to grow this community, build on what I already have going on my other channel and keep this one going for this part. This one makes me happy. That one is that I got next is great, and I'll put a link in here if you guys ever want to check that out. And on that channel, we talk all things basketball. I mean, we'll get into music. Me and my boy Mancal, we talk about music, we talk about movies, basketball. It's everything. But this one really just as a passion for the Knicks, I had to get this one out. It's a random start, game 37. But I'm hoping that you guys enjoy this video. You like, share, and you subscribe. Before we head out, I do want to say going into this West Coast trip, if I'm just gonna pull up the Knicks schedule real quick. So on this road trip, we have the Phoenix Suns on Friday, the Blazers, the Kings, the Warriors, and then we finish. Oh, I'm sorry. Then we finish up with the Warriors. So, 4 game road trip. The most important thing to me in this trip is one, these teams are not the best teams in the world. I would look at that Phoenix game as it's a big game. It's a young, athletic, defensive team with a star in Devin Booker. Those type of games are the ones that give the Knicks problems with young, athletic teams. Dylan Brooks. I mean, the whole nine. It's just a. But hey, the Phoenix Suns are playing great. Shout out to them. That's not going to be an easy game by any stretch of the imagination. Blazers, we'll see. Not as much defense is going on out there as we probably anticipated to start the season, but the Blazers are still a solid team. The Kings. Now, here's the thing: between that Blazers and Kings game is the first time the Knicks have consecutive days off. And the reason why, despite the 4 game winning, excuse me, despite the 4 game losing streak, the most important game was tonight. Now, could you go into Phoenix and end up losing? That's very possible. That is a good team. Most importantly, you got to beat Portland, and then you got to take advantage of those 2 days. I really don't. I really hope Mike Brown gives those guys a solid 2 days off because they haven't had a consecutive days off since before the NBA Cup. And I just feel like they need some air. They need some. Now, the schedule sucks. They had to from Detroit to New York to fly all the way over into Phoenix to go play a game on Friday is insane. So that the schedule gods have just not worked out with this NBA Cup thing, and I hope Adam Silver is very aware of what's been happening with all the teams. I mean, if you watch the game on MSG tonight, you saw they put up a graphic of the teams that played in the semifinal, and all of them are struggling. The Thunder are struggling. They just got blown out by Charlotte. I believe, if I'm not actually mistaken, they were actually in a close game against the Jazz, which I'm going to check for you really quick, real time. By the time y'all seen this, y'all would already know the score. Yeah, they're in overtime right now with the Jazz. With 2 minutes to go, they're up 2 points, 119, 117. So they're still having some issues. Spurs are 7-4. So like everybody's struggling. Everybody's struggling since this NBA Cup thing. So hopefully those 2 days out west will give the Knicks a little bit more energy. And I'm really hoping that hey, I'll take 3-1. I'm everybody would take 4-0 for sure. I'll take 3-1. I'll accept a loss to Phoenix. It's a second game, first game out there on the road trip. You're flying from New York to Phoenix. I would understand if they lost that game. It's the Blazers, it's the Kings especially, and then it's the Warriors. Those are the three you got to get. And I would not accept anything less. They come back 2-2. This road trip was a complete failure. I don't care what anybody says. And look, maybe this can be the jumping off point. Maybe this can be the start, the rev up. I think be very telling if Josh Hart does make this trip. I think that would tell you that he will probably play at some point during the road trip. I would hope at least. And at that point, finally, God willing, the Knicks will be at full strength. And I think if that's the case, especially after that 2 game break, I think that we can start seeing some ramp up from them and start to finish off the first half strong. Being that the first half, the rest of January is not a strong schedule. Like we don't have anything crazy going on in January where we cannot overcome that 4 game losing streak. And then once we get into February, it's go time because we have a lot of teams that we got to go attack. We got the Lakers, you got Detroit. I think Philly's in there twice. Like, so there's a lot of good teams in February. So we really got to start racking some wins back up, get back up into the standings, challenge at least for the first seed. I don't know if that's going to happen, but at least push the Celtics out the way because I can't deal. My boy Maycow, if y'all don't know, if y'all have never seen this, my other channel is a diehard Celtic fan, and I can't stand the fact that we're in third place behind them. I think we might have jumped them today after they lost to Denver, but neither here nor there. It's still going to be a dogfight. Anyway, I've been rambling for way too long. This again, I don't do this. Usually, don't do podcasting and stuff like that solo dolo. So I don't know how to like function, but I just wanted to get this out just so I can again share my passion with you, other Knicks fans. You can come in the comments and tell me I'm stupid about everything I just said. You can tell me whatever you thought about this game, but please make sure you drop a like. follow, subscribe to the channel. Again, you can also hit up on I Got Next. Again, I will leave a link in the description to go ahead and go over to that channel if you want all things basketball. We cover every single team, news, rumors, trades, whatever. We will talk about the Trae Young trade. That episode will come out on Friday on I Got Next. I Got Knicks will have more shorts and things like that. I don't know if I'll be able to cover the Suns game just because I'll be out of town for the weekend, but going forward, this is going to be a consistent thing. So I appreciate it. Thank you. If you like this video, please, again, drop a like, and I'll see you on the next one.